I know what songs like Live It on a Prayer or It's My Life have meant to people over the years. I know what so many of those songs have meant to people. Um, and I get it because I know what songs mean to me.
Bon Jovi is finally telling their story in the new Hulu docuseries Thank You Goodnight. Band members Jon Bon Jovi and Tico Torres, as well as director Gotham Chopra, spoke to The Hollywood Reporter all about the project. The series, timed to the 40th anniversary of the band releasing their first album, juxtaposes Jon Bon Jovi working through a vocal injury over the past few years, with footage chronicling the band's rise to fame.
What really stood out to me is how I felt like you're essentially the same guy. You still have that drive, that determination that's never really left you. What was your takeaway from watching that?
I was certainly single-mindedly focused, and I think a lot of that had to do with passion and desire, sure. But a lot of it had to do with being so young. So, that kind of focus was not unusual. I guess what differentiated me is I wasn't ever the best singer, the best guitar player, the best songwriter. But I tell you what I was the best at, hard work. I was not afraid of working 8 days a week to make it work.
Tico, when you watched the docuseries for the first time, how did it make you feel?
Old. It's, again, you see yourself grow up on camera, and John hit it on the head. I mean, his drive, all our drives as individuals, that there's an effervescence. It's like that club soda's got lots of bubbles, and that was us at the time.
One thing you can't be in this world is a quitter. So there's no way we're going to slow down.
Chopra, who's also directed documentaries on sports stars like Kobe Bryant and Tom Brady, weighed in on how Jon Bon Jovi and the band have stayed true to their roots while achieving 4 decades of success.
He loves to wear that shirt on tour, New Jersey versus everybody. It's like, that's like him. He's like New Jersey strong. And yeah, he's gone on. He's had homes in Palm Beach and East Hampton and all this, but he's still this sort of blue collar kid from New Jersey. I think that's the chip he carries on his shoulder. And again, this is very similar. I'm, super close to Tom. Tom in his mind was always the 199th pick, the 6th round guy who every team passed on. I do think that sense of, work ethic is really like the secret sauce.
Some of the songs I wrote in my bedroom in New Jersey, I remember the day we wrote Live It on a Prayer, not thinking much of the song.
What also stuck out to me while watching the docuseries is how for you from the beginning, you understood the importance of songwriting and you're like, we got to write a good song. And it reminded me of a pop artist who's very big today, Taylor Swift. For her, it all comes down to writing good songs, and her fans, like your fans, are so about the songs, no matter how many years later.
Your songs are your story. And I think the same thing can be said about someone like Taylor Swift's songs. These are her stories. And when they ring true to her, chances are those stories will resonate with someone else who will make those stories their own. And so that to me is the magic of songwriting.
What can your fans expect from your new music you have coming out this summer?
We have a new record. The first single is called Legendary, and it's out now, and it's actually exploding on the charts, which is just fabulous to have a hit single 40 years into a career. But again, because it rings true, it makes perfect sense that people are going to make that chorus their own lives. And here we are writing about us and how I'm finding joy again for the first time in 10 years, post-surgery and post-COVID and post-Richie leaving the band. When it comes from that pure place, people gravitate towards those songs.
Richie Sambora, who left the band in 2013, was also interviewed for the docuseries.
Was there ever a question as to whether or not Richie would be involved in the docuseries?
There wasn't any question like that we wanted him to be involved. I wanted him, John wanted him. The question was like, will he want to be part of it? And will we be able to get him? And that ended up surprisingly not as difficult maybe as I envisioned, because John and him are still in touch and they still correspond. And I think maybe through this process, they got more in touch with each other than they had been in a couple of years. But I think once Richie understood like what the goal and the vision for this was, he wanted to be a part of it. And, it was like, you can't do it You cannot tell the story of Bon Jovi without Richie Sambora. He was gracious, he was funny, he was charming, he was warm, he was combative. It was all of the above, and it was super fun.
Thank You Goodnight, the Bon Jovi Story hits Hulu on April 26th. For The Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Tiffany Taylor.